Imagine walking through palaces over 1,000 years old, exploring deserts that look like they've been lifted straight from another planet, and diving into markets where poetry is as prized as gold. This place exists, and it's called Iran. In today's video, you'll discover why Iran is fast becoming the new must-see destination for luxury travelers, cultural explorers, digital nomads, and the simply curious, all in search of authentic experiences. We'll uncover the best places to visit in Iran, explore its rich Persian culture, dive into its unique cuisine, and reveal fascinating curiosities you won't even find in the most detailed travel guides. Right from the start, one common question arises: is it really worth visiting Iran? The answer lies in the details. This country is not only one of the oldest cradles of civilization in the world, but it's also a destination where the cost of living is surprisingly affordable, up to 60% cheaper than cities such as Lisbon or Buenos Aires. Combined with exclusive experiences such as staying in historic palaces, helicopter tours over Mount Damavand, and private visits to archaeological sites, Iran becomes a true gem for high-end travelers and brands looking to engage with a premium audience. For digital nomads, Iran offers vibrant cities like Isfahan and Shiraz, where modern infrastructure meets ancient tradition. Reliable internet, low costs and safety are all unexpected perks for those venturing off the beaten path. If you're seeking a lifestyle that breaks from the norm, this country might be just what you're looking for. Let's now take a closer look at the foundations that support all this richness. Iran is home to approximately 84 million people, making it one of the most populous countries in the Middle East. It boasts fascinating ethnic diversity: Persians, Azeris, Kurds, and Baloch, among others. Despite ongoing sanctions, its economy remains resilient and diverse, with key strengths in oil, natural gas, but also pistachio farming, carpet production, and domestic tourism. The cuisine is an explosion of flavor: saffron rice, cello kebab, stews with pomegranate and walnuts, and delicately sweet desserts infused with rosewater. Geographically, Iran is a colossus. Between the Caspian Sea and the Persian Gulf, the country is home to the Lut Desert, one of the hottest places on Earth, Mount Damavand, the tallest volcano in Asia, and landscapes ranging from tropical islands to snow-capped mountains. It is the 7th largest country in the world and the proud host of 26 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Now for some intriguing facts that might leave you even more impressed. In Iran, tea is almost a national institution, served ceremoniously and reverently in every household. The village of Kandovan features homes carved into live rock for over 1,000 years, still inhabited today. The city of Yazd leads in eco-architecture with its badgirs or wind towers. And did you know that Iranians practice something called ta'aruf, a traditional form of courtesy that might seem confusing at first, but reveals how deeply hospitality is embedded in their culture? All this and much more awaits in today's video. Get ready to discover the true wonders of Iran, from Tehran to Persepolis, from Hormuz Island to the ruins of the Citadel of Bam. Shall we? And speaking of places that feel like they've stepped straight out of an ancient epic, it's impossible not to be swept away by Persepolis. A city that doesn't just carry history in its stones, but turns every visitor into part of a millennia-old narrative. Imagine walking amongst colossal columns erected over 2,500 years ago, in the heart of the ancient Achaemenid Empire. Every detail was designed to impress, from the delicately carved reliefs of ambassadors bringing tributes, to staircases leading to vast ceremonial halls, all aligned with the skies of Shiraz. The archaeological site of Persepolis was founded by Darius the Great in the 6th century before Christ and expanded by his successors such as Xerxes and Artaxerxes. For centuries, it was the political and cultural hub of an empire stretching from India to the Mediterranean. Today, travelers find one of the largest open-air museums on the planet, With ruins so well preserved, it's easy to imagine the sound of drums and trumpets echoing during the Nowruz festivals, the Persian New Year. Located around 60 kilometers from Shiraz, Persepolis is not just a historical destination, it's a near cinematic experience. When the sun sets behind the Zagros Mountains, shadows dance across the bas-reliefs, as if telling stories not yet written. And most remarkable of all, despite its grandeur, the site still retains a quiet, almost meditative atmosphere. Exploring Persepolis is to feel, in your very skin, the majesty of a civilization that mastered engineering, architecture, and diplomacy far ahead of its time. The visit becomes even more profound, knowing that UNESCO recognized the site as a World Heritage Site in the year 1979. This honor highlights its importance not only to Iran, but to the collective cultural memory of all humankind. And if Persepolis connects us to the deepest roots of antiquity, Isfahan invites us to wander through a visual poem in perfect harmony. Upon arrival, one immediately feels the impact of a city where art is not only admired, it's lived. Known for centuries as half the world, Isfahan lives up to the title through a unique blend of architectural sophistication, spirituality, and a charm that transcends borders. At the heart of the city is Naqsh-e-Jahan Square, built at the beginning of the 17th century during the reign of Shah Abbas, when Isfahan became the capital of the Safavid Empire. The square, whose name means image of the world, is one of the largest in the world and has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since the year 1979. Here, the Grand Imam Mosque, the delicate Sheikh Lotfollah Mosque, Ali Kapu Palace and the Great Bazaar are connected by archways and courtyards that seem hand-painted. Along the banks of the Zayandi River, a series of historic bridges such as Siose Pole, with its 33 arches, turn even simple crossings into moments of reflection. At night, locals and visitors gather beneath the vaulted ceilings to hear traditional Iranian music and share stories, a tradition that has endured for generations. The lifestyle in Isfahan is defined by quiet elegance. Hidden cafes in interior courtyards, art galleries, and carpets crafted with near-scientific precision reveal a modern spirit that honors its roots. For those seeking an experience that blends cultural luxury with authentic hospitality, the city is a true discovery. Even for the most seasoned travelers, Isfahan always offers a new detail, a new light, a fresh enchantment. If you're passionate about exploring cultures, discovering fascinating facts, and finding incredible places around the world, this channel is made for you. So go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to follow every new adventure we have in store for you. And of course, if you know someone who also loves to travel without leaving home, share this video. Let's grow this community of explorers together. Every minute of this video was designed to take you on a journey, even if you never leave your seat. So watch till the very end. There are surprising destinations, unique stories, and fascinating facts that will change the way you see the world. After being enchanted by the grand beauty of Isfahan, the journey continues along more delicate, yet equally fascinating paths. Kashan is like a hidden gem, nestled between the desert and Iran's central mountains, where every building seems to whisper stories from ancient times. The city gained prominence for its historic mansions, built between the 18th and 19th centuries by wealthy merchants during the Qajar dynasty. Walking through its narrow alleys feels like leafing through an intimate diary of a culture that treasures beauty, privacy, and refinement. Among all of Kashan's architectural wonders, the Sultan Amir Ahmad bathhouse deserves special mention. This hammam, built in the 16th century, is a masterpiece of Persian engineering. Its domed roof with circular skylights filters the desert light in a near-magical way, reflecting on the turquoise and golden tiles like a mosaic of stars. And it's not just about looks. The The bathhouse was designed with an innovative underground heating system for its time, which kept the water warm and the space always pleasant. Surrounding the hammam are houses like Tabatabai and Borujerdi, true residential palaces with colourful stained glass windows, internal courtyards with reflecting pools, and intricately carved ceilings. Many of these buildings now house cafes, boutique hotels, and art galleries, offering visitors an experience that combines modern comfort with the soul of ancient Persia. Kashan is also renowned for its gardens, especially Fin Garden, recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Here, the sound of water flowing through ancient qanats echoes between cypress trees and rose bushes, creating a sense of peace that contrasts with the surrounding heat. All of this makes Kashan an elegant and unforgettable retreat for those seeking to immerse themselves in the essence of traditional Iran. After feeling the near-poetic stillness of Kashan, we arrive at a completely different scene where the pace is intense, the avenues are wide, and the energy feels boundless. Tehran, the vibrant capital of Iran, pulses with life at every corner. Here, tradition and modernity collide unapologetically, creating a space where the old and the new coexist in surprisingly harmonious fashion. The city's skyline is marked by the Milad Tower, standing over 400 meters tall, one of the tallest structures in the Middle East. Yet, not far from it, rises the elegant Golestan Palace, reflecting centuries of history through Venetian mirrors, detailed frescoes, and geometric gardens. Founded in the 17th century, the palace is one of the few remnants of pre-modern Tehran to survive the city's rapid urban expansion, and it is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Tehran also surprises with its cultural diversity. The Grand Bazaar, stretching more than 10 kilometers in length, is a symphony of scents, from saffron and pistachios to freshly tanned leather. Meanwhile, in the northern districts such as Darband and Tajrish, modern cafes and art galleries share space with traditional tea houses and hiking trails, leading into the Alborz Mountains. In winter, the ski slopes of Toshol are just 30 minutes from the city centre, a luxury for locals and a delightful surprise for visitors. The city is home to more than 9 million people and serves as the political and economic heart of the country. Museums such as the National Museum of Iran, the Museum of Contemporary Art, and the Carpet Museum offer rich and unexpected cultural experiences, connecting the sophistication of ancient Persia with modern expressions that resonate globally. Leaving the multifaceted metropolis of Tehran and crossing the arid landscapes of southeastern Iran, we encounter a nearly surreal sight rising on the horizon, the imposing Citadel of Bam. It's as if time stood still there on the desert's edge to shape the world's largest adobe architectural complex. Standing before this fortress feels like witnessing centuries of history unfold, brick by brick. Originally built around the 6th century before Christ, during the Achaemenid Empire, the Citadel of Bam flourished as a vital post along the ancient Silk Road. It reached its peak between the 7th and 17th centuries, serving as a commercial, military, and residential hub in the heart of the Qeshm Desert. Spanning over 180,000 square meters, the complex was protected by high walls, watchtowers, and an impressively planned urban layout. Among its internal structures, highlights include the governor's palace, the covered market, the underground canal system, known as qanats, and walled gardens that offered shade and coolness amid the arid climate. The residences and buildings, all made of raw adobe, withstood the centuries until the devastating earthquake of 2003, which destroyed much of the site. Since then, a meticulous restoration effort with international support has been gradually returning the citadel to its original form. Despite its scars, the atmosphere remains powerful. Walking through the reconstructed corridors of Bam feels like wandering through an ancient labyrinth where every wall has a story to tell. Beneath the clear sky and scorching sun, the citadel breathes memory and endurance. a living testament to Persian ingenuity in one of the planet's most challenging environments. Leaving behind the adobe walls of Bam, the road leads us into a territory that seems straight out of science fiction. The Lut Desert, also known as Dasht-e-Lut, is a vastness that defies all the senses. There's no shade, no shelter, only wind-sculpted geological formations and temperatures that exceed any earthly expectation. In 2005, NASA sensors recorded the highest ground temperature ever measured on Earth here, 70 degrees Celsius. The landscape is dominated by yardangs, enormous ridges of sand and stone carved over millennia. Some rise like natural cathedrals, others resemble futuristic spacecraft stranded on an uninhabited planet. The near-total absence of plant or animal life makes everything feel even more surreal. Yet beneath this apparent monotony, the desert hides fascinating secrets. Scientists have discovered traces of microorganisms here, capable of surviving the harshest conditions, making Lut an open-air laboratory for research into life on Mars. Located in southeastern Iran, the desert spans more than 50,000 square kilometers, covering parts of Kerman, Sistan, and Baluchistan provinces. Despite its inhospitable appearance, it's a growing destination for travelers seeking off-the-beaten-path adventures. 4x4 expeditions, sunrise hikes, and camping under an unbelievably starry sky are just a few of the unforgettable experiences on offer. Beyond its raw beauty, the Lut Desert was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2016, highlighting its natural and scientific significance. Being there is like stepping onto another world, where the scale of time and nature silences anything human. After braving the near-extraterrestrial heat of the Lut Desert, the scenery shifts dramatically as we arrive at Qeshm Island, a secluded refuge in the Strait of Hormuz, where nature seems to have let imagination run wild. Qeshm is the largest island in the Persian Gulf, and also one of the most intriguing. With landscapes so unexpected, it's easy to believe they were either sculpted by divine hands or some eccentric artist from prehistory. At the heart of the island lies Chaku Canyon, an awe-inspiring sight from the first glance. Carved by wind and water over thousands of years, its sinuous walls rise dozens of meters high, forming narrow corridors where sunlight paints ever-shifting geometric patterns. The sound of the wind, whistling through the crevices, creates a kind of natural music, enhancing the feeling of being in a sacred, untouched place. Just a few kilometers further, the Namakdan Salt Cave offers an entirely different spectacle. Stretching over 6,000 meters, it is considered one of the longest salt caves in the world. Inside, white stalactites glisten under torchlight, and small underground lakes reflect so perfectly they confuse the senses. Scientists say the air inside the cave has therapeutic properties, especially beneficial for those with respiratory conditions. Beyond its geological formations, Qeshm is home to the mysterious Valley of the Stars, so named because locals believe it was shaped by falling meteors millennia ago. The island is part of a UNESCO-recognized geological reserve and blends environmental preservation with conscious tourism. On Qeshm, every step reveals something new: a fishing village, a hidden lagoon, or a silence that speaks directly to the infinite. If Qeshm is a journey into the Earth's depths, Hormuz is a plunge into a universe of colours that seem to come from a surrealist's palette. Just a short boat ride separates the two islands, but the change in atmosphere is immediate. Hormuz is smaller, quieter, yet absolutely vibrant. The first impression? A landscape that glows in shades of red, orange, yellow, and even lilac. A sight so extraordinary it feels hand-painted. This vivid colouring is not the result of filters or photographic exaggeration. It comes from iron oxides and other rare minerals that dye the island's sands and rocks. Hormuz's so-called red soil not only fascinates visitors, but is also used by the local population to produce natural pigments, cosmetics, and even condiments for traditional cooking. The local dishes, in fact, reflect Arab and Indian influences, with seafood spiced in intense flavors and colors as bold as the landscape. In the Valley of Statues, rock formations shaped by erosion resemble mythical creatures and legendary figures. It's easy to spend hours there, spotting silhouettes that look like lions, giant birds, or human shapes frozen in time. The hike to the top of the valley reveals sweeping views of the Persian Gulf, and on clear days, one can even glimpse the coast of Oman. Life in Hormuz moves to a different rhythm. Wooden boats glide lazily across the turquoise waters, women wear garments embroidered with golden thread, and barefoot children play between brightly coloured houses. The island, measuring just over 40 square kilometres, is a true portrait of Iran's coastal soul, simple, creative, and deeply connected to the land that sustains it. Leaving the vibrant colours of Hormuz behind, the journey takes us southward, where poetry finds a home and gardens bloom in the heart of the desert. Shiraz is synonymous with delicate beauty, a place where words hold as much value as precious stones. Known as the City of Poets, it was once home to legendary figures like Hafez and Sadi, whose tombs today are cultural sanctuaries visited by millions. Wandering through Shiraz is to immerse oneself in a tender, graceful atmosphere. The Nasir al-Mulk Mosque, famed for its pink stained glass windows, transforms morning light into a dancing spectacle of colours upon Persian carpets. Built in the late 19th century, the mosque is considered one of the most photogenic in the world, a true jewel of Iranian Islamic architecture. Gardens such as Iram, which date back to at least the 13th century, provide shelter from the heat with their shady cypress trees and flowing water channels, classic elements of Persian garden design. Meanwhile, the Vakil Bazaar pulses with local life, the scents of spices, the jingle of coins, intricate handmade crafts. In Shiraz, every corner breathes poetry, every street holds a verse, and every gaze encounters beauty. After the floral serenity of Shiraz, the road leads to a city where desert and spirituality have shaped an architecture that feels born of an ancient dream. Yazd, with its wind towers and adobe buildings, rises like an oasis of history in the sands of central Iran. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the year 2017, the city preserves age-old traditions with quiet elegance. Known as the heart of Zoroastrianism, Yazd maintains sacred fire temples where flames have been burning continuously for centuries. One of the most symbolic is the Atash Kadeh, where the current fire is said to have been lit around the year 432. The Towers of Silence, ancient circular structures atop nearby hills, were once used for Zoroastrian funerary rituals and still impress visitors today with their solemn atmosphere and panoramic views of the city. Amid the narrow alleys and ochre rooftops, the famous badgir, or wind towers, stand out. These serve as a natural ventilation system, invented centuries ago to cool homes in the desert heat. The Jame Mosque, with its towering entrance portal and twin minarets, also makes a striking presence, casting blue mosaics against Yazd's dry, open sky. Leaving Yazd's adobe labyrinths and wind towers behind, the journey continues to northern Iran, where the mountains have carved out a village as unusual as it is fascinating. Kandovan, nestled in the slopes of East Azerbaijan province, is one of those places that seem imagined by storytellers, and yet it's entirely real. Here, the landscape is dotted with volcanic stone cones, in which people have lived for more than 700 years. Unlike similar archaeological sites, Kandovan is no museum. It's a living village. The homes, carved directly into the rock, resemble giant beehives or natural sculptures, with doors, windows and chimneys organically adapted to the terrain. Around 300 people still live here, preserving ancestral traditions in a setting that defies all modern concepts of urban planning. Besides its unique geography, the area is also known for its mineral-rich thermal springs, sought after by those looking for natural remedies for kidney and rheumatic conditions. Balconies carved into the stone act as lookout points over the valley below, which bursts into bloom in spring with rare mountain flora. Kandovan is a rare example of continuity between nature, culture and habitation, a place where time seems to move at its own pace. After the inhabited caves of Kandovan, our attention turns to one of Iran's most mysterious and fragile natural landscapes, Lake Urmia. Located between the provinces of West and East Azerbaijan, this salt lake was once the largest in the Middle East, covering more than 5,000 square kilometers. Today, its reflective surface also mirrors the struggle against time and the impact of climate change. Walking along its shores, one cannot ignore the contrast between areas where the water still reflects the sky in rosy hues and dried-out stretches coated in salt crystals. The reddish tint, seen at certain times of year, is caused by halophilic algae that thrive in the extreme salinity. And it is precisely this salinity that for decades attracted visitors in search of therapeutic flotation and medicinal salt baths. The lake is also a sanctuary for migratory birds. Flamingos, pelicans and wild ducks use the area as a resting point during long journeys between Asia and Europe. Over the past 20 years, environmental recovery efforts have been underway to combat the lake's ongoing desiccation, which has already drastically reduced its water volume. The future of Lake Urmia depends on a delicate balance between human use, conservation and time. Coming from the mirrored silence of Lake Urmia, it becomes clear that Iran is not just a travel destination. It's an invitation to discovery. Here, every route reveals layers of history, every landscape holds symbolism, and every cultural encounter leaves a lasting impression. It's a country that breathes ancestry and, at the same time, reinvents itself with quiet elegance. One quickly realizes Iran possesses a rare kind of sophistication, the kind that doesn't need opulence to be unforgettable. From the splendor of ancient Persepolis to the vibrant lights of Tehran, through oases like Kashan, the pink mosques of Shiraz, and the wind towers of Yazd, the country offers a collection of unique and unmissable destinations. Its authentic gastronomy blends ingredients steeped in millennia of tradition: saffron, pomegranate, walnuts, slow-cooked lamb, and fragrant rice. These are flavors that speak louder than any travel guide. For discerning travelers, digital nomads or brands seeking meaningful connections through transformative experiences, Iran presents a rare backdrop: luxury with soul. But what truly sets this place apart is its cultural resilience. Despite geopolitical changes and present-day challenges, the Iranian people continue to celebrate their identity through poetry, art and hospitality. These are 84 million voices preserving ancestral values while welcoming the new with remarkable generosity. Open-air museums, markets where every spice tells a story, and customs like tarof, a social code of courtesy and respect, reveal fascinating insights into the Iranian spirit. Iran is, without a doubt, the next great discovery. A land that attracts curious minds, open hearts, and smart investments. For content creators, visionary brands, and modern explorers, this is a chance to become part of a new global narrative, where authenticity is the new luxury, where local culture and exclusive experiences become assets of deep emotional value, and where content does more than inform, it transforms, and it moves. Because Iran isn't a place you simply visit, it's a place that stays with you. If this journey through Iran surprised you, just imagine what's still to come. Subscribe to the channel now, turn on notifications and share this video with anyone who loves discovering unforgettable destinations, rich in local culture and authentic experiences. Your next journey starts right here.